Hello, everyone. Welcome to the From Rags to Riches and Respect podcast with your host, Jonathan Cope. This podcast looks at life of average people who end up accomplishing amazing things. These people could be your neighbor or cousin, they could be your teacher, and it could even be you. Tune in each week as we examine the life of a new person who has shown us that anyone can climb to the top with enough work, good fortune, and grit. Welcome again. This podcast is the weekly podcast from rags to riches and respect, a place where we examine how people climb the ladder of success, starting from the lowest rung. Today's guest began his early life as an orphan and ended it as a legend. He had so many things working against him, yet he always seemed to come out on top. I look forward to diving into his life, what helped him succeed, and what the driving force behind his success is. Joining me today is Alexander Hamilton. Now, Alexander Hamilton, how does an immigrant with no name, no money, and no connections end up being George Washington's right-hand man?
It really just took a lot of hard work. Uh, at a young age, I had a hard life, and my family ended up passing away, and I ended up just kind of having to teach myself and learn from books that I could find. I worked for a shipping company really young. I would write into a newspaper under a pseudonym. Some people kind of found out who I was, liked what I was writing, and they sponsored me to go to King's College, bring me over to the States, and with a lot of hard work, studying, doing everything I could do, and then of course some luck as well, I was able to end up in the end working with George Washington through the Revolutionary War and then through his first presidency.
Oh. Now, when you boarded the ship to America, did you have a plan?
Well, my plan at that time really was just King's College. That's what I was kind of sponsored to do. That's what I was coming over to do. But things changed a little bit, and I had some run-ins with some administrators at the college. And then, of course, the Revolutionary War was just calling, and I really wanted to be a part of it. So things changed from what I had originally planned, but that wasn't necessarily a bad thing.
Now, your family life in the West Indies, how was it different from your family life in America?
Well, in the West Indies, my family all passed away. It was unstable. It was never really what you would call your ideal family or a safe place. And in the end, there really was no family. When I came to America, there was no family, but I quickly started to join in with people that became my family, and then I married into the Schuyler family and started kind of realizing what a real family could be. And we created a great family with my in-laws, my children, and then just all those mentors and people around me. So it ended up that I learned to and loved the family I had in America that we developed from scratch.
Mm. What would you say was the highest point in your career?
If I could choose one thing, I would probably say the opportunity I had to go into New York when the English surrendered in the Revolutionary War. That was a dream I had from the second I set foot in America, and to be able to be a part of that was just amazing.
Now, you died in a duel, ending your political career and family connections. Do you have any regrets?
Well, of course I would. I'm kind of a hard-headed, stubborn guy, and I know that's what kind of, and I got a hot head, and I know that's kind of what drove me to be successful, but it also is what drove me to be killed in the end. So I think just learning to say no and not be such a hothead probably would have saved me quite a bit.
So it sounds like your humble start is a big part of what helped you to rise to the top. It helped me realize that you don't have to be born into greatness. You can go out and make it for yourself. It is fascinating to see you go from nothing to literally the man helping to guide our country through its infinite years. All of those hard things that happened to you definitely played a role in making you who you are and who you become. Sometimes I wish hard things would happen to me, but then I see would not happen to me. But then I see people like you and realize I need those hard things to make me a better and stronger person. I have a hard class in school and I don't know how I can make it through. Your entire family and possessions you lost your entire family and possessions and kept moving forward and working to become something. I need to be more like you and push through those hard times. Use them as moments to define the rest of my life, like the way you did. What I found most interesting is that you found success, even when you didn't have family support. I relied so much on family to help me with pretty much everything. You made a name for yourself, and then people saw your potential and wanted to help you succeed. It was really amazing. You're smart, confident, and a lot of fun. Thank you for being on Rags to Riches and Success podcast, and thank you to all listeners who made this podcast.